everyone, welcome back. Finally, the brows have been done. I'm on day 5, had them done on Sunday, it's now Thursday, and I was terrified. I have to say, I probably frightened Miriam to absolute death and back, because I was just like, please, can they be natural? Because I've seen so many that are dark. If you've had your brows microbladed before, this isn't actually microblading. She used a device and pigment. You'll know that they get very dark before they go lighter again. So she said, you'll probably be back. But I was like, I'm happy to come back if I can just kind of control how natural they look. Because actually my brief was to have eyebrows that look great when I woke up in a natural face with no makeup. And then I can build them up and kind of make them stronger if I want to, and do my makeup on. But I don't like the juxtaposition of a very bare makeup-free face and dark, strong, heavy brows. And she just absolutely smashed it. I may have already done a live with her on my Instagram, but once they're all set, 'cause I can't touch them at the moment, I just have to leave them and just keep them scrupulously clean. And after 10 days, then I can fill them in and play with them a bit more, and they'll be the perfect shade. So once they're that, I will feed back. Anyway, lots to get through today. The first thing that I want to talk about is slightly random, but actually brilliant. They're eye drops. Now, it's a brand new brand that actually came to me. In all honesty, I hadn't heard of them, but this is what this is. I love this channel for, that I get to share brilliant things with you. And I do turn down quite a lot, but this is something you need to know about. It's a new brand called Making Technology Humankind. So the founder of this brand, Amar, had really bad eyesight since he was 7. Contact lens wearer, glasses wearer, all through his life. His child then started to have very similar symptoms. So he's like, no, we need to do more, or I need to do more about eye care. So in a long story short, he contacted Moorfields Eye Hospital in London, which is an amazing eye hospital in London, talked and learnt so much about eyes, and has founded this company. It's really cool, designed beautifully. It's all vegan, there's no preservatives, everything that it comes in is compostable, recyclable, very simple. So it's a very cool modern brand. But they'll get to the point in a minute. Obviously, as a makeup artist and someone who's had their own eyes lasered, who suffers from blinky dry eyes, which are definitely getting worse, and I'm sure some of you watching me on a screen will go, yeah, my eyes are always like that. I've always had a slight nervousness of using too many eye drops. Obviously, I use eye drops a lot at work for vanity reasons, not for myself necessarily. And maybe if I was quite blurry-eyed or sore-eyed or red-eyed, then I might use some eye drops if I was going on camera. But a lot of my artists and actors and actresses, want to have fresh eyes that sort of, help them see auto cues, or, just feel good and look brighter. But obviously you don't want to use eye drops too much, because you don't want to have the adverse effect of using eye drops too much. So you don't. But these aren't for vanity. These are for your eye care. And the reason that I'm going on and on about this brand like this before I even put it in is that it feels so lovely. I've never dropped an eye drop in my eye like this. So they have, just to tell you the products they have currently, I know they're going to expand on this, but at the moment, they do vitamins. They've compiled all the necessary vitamins that your body needs to support your eyesight. So for instance, if you're going in for an operation, cataract operation or any eye operation, and you feel that you want to do best by your eyes, or you're really struggling with headaches, there are vitamins. I haven't tried these, so I can't comment on them, but they are available. And like I say, they have been all put together by experts who know the requirements that your eyes need if you're lacking in something and you've got a problem in that area. So the two products that I'm absolutely loving are the drops for dry eyes and the eye spray for dry eyes. So there's 2 of them. Now, interestingly enough, the spray, they say, which you just literally do this. You close your eyes and you spray. It literally kind of covers the whole of your orbital area, and then you blink it in, which is really strange. I assumed when I watched him apply it, the surgeon, that he would do it directly to his eye, but you do it with your eyes closed and you blink it in. Interesting. So if you're that person who doesn't like eye drops and you get all very, blinky the cow about it, and you get in the right old tears, or you can't see properly, this is fantastic. They say you can apply it over makeup. I would probably apply it to a cleansed skin because I just feel that the makeup dissolves into the eye product and goes into your eyes, but I'm not the expert. So the sprays are fantastic if you're that person, but for me, it's the eye drops. You'll find that this bottle is squidgy. So you just squeeze one little drop in. One eye, and do both eyes because it's such a treat. If you've had your eyes lasered, you'll know what that dry eye feels like. It takes quite a firm squeeze to come out, and that's because it's slightly thicker than any other eye drop I've ever used. But it's blissful on application. Obviously, you can't see anything. It feels more like a gel, a jelly. It's all too much. It's just a slightly thicker consistency that I'm used to around my eyes. But it bathes my eyes, it cools my eyes. There's no tingling or anything. But as I've been using these, I've just felt like, oh, instant relief. But that's because I do have dry eyes. So if you don't have dry eyes, you've no eye issues, this might not be interesting to you. But if you have issues with your eyes and you want to take care of your eyes and you use your computer a lot and you feel that you've got eye strain, for $14.99 or $15.99, I believe. Let me just get the price right. The eye drops are $15.99. Yeah, both of them are $15.99, and I have a discount in the description box as well. I can highly recommend, and I hope you'll agree that I've never let you down. So it's a brand new company, really great founding story, and I wanted to share with you that first of all. Right, onto the makeup, and because we're doing eyes, I thought we'd do a really bright eye makeup. So just to kind of complement the vibe of today. So I've just been trying out the Westman Atelier Complexion drops. Very expensive product, beautifully formulated, beautifully packaged. It's very sheeny and shiny. And this is the colour I would actually use on my skin. I'm just patting it over just because of the eye drops. So I can't really use it under my eyes. So I'm going to get a lighter colour because I think this is going to be a really nice product for us to put around our eyes. If, like me, you have fine lines around your eyes. But I'm going to go in because it's feeling wintry and I'm feeling a little bit more liney around my eyes, I suppose. I'm going to go in with the Glossier G10. That's my shade, isn't it? G10, yeah. Just around my eyes, and I do like this in these dry months because it's just a little bit more flexible around the eye. Sometimes the heavier concealers can be a little bit more dehydrating on the skin. Okay, so I've got the base on my lid. I'm just going to use a bit of MAC Face and Body. I adore this powder foundation to cover any kind of blemishes because it's so dense. But with a nice light brush, if I'm going to create a nice soft sculpted eye, it really does help the colours blend in beautifully. So rather than just doing a wash over my eye, which I'm used to, this just kind of gives me a really nice base to start with. So I'm going to be using e.l.f. Bite Size in Cream and Sugar. It's a very nice warm palette. I'm going to sort of work with these, well, I'm actually going to work with all of them and just see how they build up, but this is a really nice colour for brightening the eye. So let's start by getting the shades on first. Oh, momentarily, the sun comes out, just as I'm about to do my eyes, now it's dropping. Anyway, I've closed the blind, so we should be able to continue now. Right, I'm going to start with this shade, which is slightly metallic, but it's going to give me a really soft base to start with. And I'm just going to use this all over the first 2/3 of my eye. Great. Now I'm going to use the same brush. I want to keep it soft, but I'm just going to use the tip of the brush just to push the colour into the socket, but almost layering it over, not on the outer corner where I normally throw the darker shades to kind of push my eye forward, because I want my eye to be nice and open and rounded. So everything is going to say everything is going to stay central. A lot of the time we sort of pull our eyes out to give that kind of lift, but this is all about big, wide, open eyes. So you can see how easy that is to push the colour on with that nice base of powder. If you've never done it before and you try, just show me or just tell me the difference, because a nice soft velvet base to put colour on, especially if you really struggle, makes all the difference. So backwards and forwards, and you can kind of become it's quite therapeutic, just running the brush very gently. Tip your head back as well if you want to, and you can look into the mirror. That really helps. Blending the colours together. You know, it's like a painting, isn't it? Sometimes you do need to spend just a little bit more time, especially when you see all these kind of like edited versions of makeup on Instagram where literally they've probably spent 20 minutes on their eye, and then they've shown you, oh, and there we are. Well, no, it just took you 20 minutes, but it looks like it took, 2 seconds. So the blending does take a little bit of time, but what you want to achieve is a really nice dark inner socket, and then it just really softening out very softly, but it's just changing the colour between the socket and the lid and the rest of your skin. So again, with the tip of your brush, if the tip of your brush isn't tapered, then you can use a cotton bud. I'll show you. Now this has got a point, but that would be too skinny, but this one's slightly round, so just tip that in there, or just a normal basic, baby cotton bud, and use that to push in and get that really fine, dark line that you're then going to soften out. The graduation of colour is what's really going to help this look and help shape your eyes. If you've just got the same tone of colour on your eye, you don't tend to get the great shaping effects that you could do. See how that makes such a difference? It really, really throws back that eye. So let's just go back onto that one again, and then we'll go in with the softer one. Go in with the tip. This is a Keat Co brush, my smoothing shadow 1.6. Keat Co is a company by a brilliant makeup artist, English makeup artist, James Malloy. He used to work for MAC back in the day. And he's got this wonderful professional but also consumer-based packaging, brushes, makeup, cases business. It's huge and it's so successful, and if you go on a job with lots of makeup artists, you'll find that most of us have something from Keat Co. And again, just blend that out really softly. So you want to get rid of that banana line and just make that perfect. So with let's go on the inner corner with a cotton bud. Again, that's the lightest shade, slightly metallic, and then just place that in the inner corner here and around. This is why I like this palette, because just here just adds that brightness. And if you're feeling tired, that's where you need the brightness. Isn't it funny? I can feel the shift in my energy now I'm applying makeup. I mean, I am very excited about the eye drops because it's something I haven't really ever used. I've always been too nervous of it, unless I've had to for work. But I do feel that I've been struggling. As you can tell, I've got my glasses now for seeing the names of products. It's quite nice to nurture my eyes and look after them. Where would we be without our eyes, quite frankly? Lovely. Okay, and then a brilliant cajole liner. This is the Max Factor one. They call it 003. Again, this is super, super soft. I'm just going to soften it. It's super, super soft, but what I'm doing is I'm just softening the edge, because sometimes if you haven't used it for a while, the tip gets harder and then you scratch your eye. But look, when you pop it in, it's so quick. And that just neutralises any kind of pinkness or irritation in the eye. Just be careful not to get it on the roots of your lashes, because then it makes your roots of your lashes look a bit grey. And there we go. Just backwards and forwards. I've literally using no pressure whatsoever. And take that and just soften that. Don't want that sort of dripping down too much. You want it just on the top to kind of capture it. But I'm pleased with that eye shape. Brows look good, don't they? Honestly. I'll talk more about my brows next week when I see the final thing, but I'm very excited. It's much more of a life-changing, but I feel much better about it than I ever thought I would. Anyway, right, I went to Sephora the other day. It's opening in London. Finally, it's back. And they gave me Man Eater Mascara by Tarte. This is a waterproofing, volumizing mascara that basically does everything. It's got 500 bristles apparently. I like it because the bristles are short. Oh yes, this is nice. I like it because the bristles are short. You know that's what I like, because it just stops the mascara from going everywhere. You can have much more control over it. But also they've got a nice fat wand, which means you've still got a lot of surface area for the mascara to sit. Right, that's my family chat in the background. Now, because we're doing a big wide eye, normally I would pull the mascara from the outside to create that cat eye, but I'm really going to pull, let's turn that off, the lashes up, okay? So when I do the downward lashes, I'm going to really pull these center ones down. And you know what, we can kind of get quite haphazard with our mascara, where you just sort of put it on. But because I want to create this open shape, I've got the nice deep socket. It's just really nice to follow through with that shape on the rest of your eye product. So rather than going outwards, really try and focus on lifting up, up, up. Like you wouldn't want to put a liquid eyeliner with this because you want to keep everything up. You could do like a little cheeky one just in the waterline, maybe at the top to kind of keep it up. But you can see ta-da, how much more awake and my eyes look. I'm just going to try and layer a little bit more of this just in the centre here. Okay, and the other side. Always 2 coats, I think, for mascara, don't you? I don't think you can really judge a mascara on one application. I think the mascara really delivers its claims when it's layered on itself. So let's do that one first. And as you can see, which is very normal, and I didn't do an eyeshadow primer, which I do a lot of times when I'm at work because I need the makeup pigment to last a long time, but it's just a step that I often skip at home. But if I was going to an event or, you know, an all-day thing, I would, and I was going for an eye look, then I would put a primer on because it helps the pigment last a little bit longer. You know, when you put eye makeup on, it just sort of like dissolves, you know, because your eyelid is sort of slightly greasier than the rest of your face. This really helps. So the point of what I'm saying is, if I'd put an eye primer, we'll do that for next week, yeah? I'll put one on with an eye primer and then one without. My mum uses an eye primer because it's almost impossible for her to keep her eyeshadow on for more than a couple of hours. There we go. That's a very, very nice mascara. If you like defined lashes, so if your lashes are thick, and you just find that you're forever combing because there are so many bristles and the mascara wand is quite fat, I haven't really got any clumps, right? Let's just soften that out. So that should look good. Okay, so looking a bit pasty and pale. I think I'm going to do a stronger lip look. I just didn't even realise, I'm getting Christmassy, aren't I? Look at that. I have to put some little twinkle lights in the back like I did last year. Red and green. Let's go in with a hyaluronic infused blush and just keep that soft. I'm going to go for a red lip. I think we'll go nice and soft on the lips. I think, gosh, Caroline, red lip is not soft. Well, it can be soft. It's just about, oh look, about the texture and how you apply the texture. Anyway, this is a really nice blush. It's called Vintage Peony, I believe. Yeah. Again, the Max Factor ones, I've shown you these before. They are new, but I love them because they're very, very soft. They look strong, as you can see, on application, but they almost kind of give you this lovely highlight. So you don't really need to add any highlight to your skin, which is really nice with the Westman Atelier base. I'm going to get a lighter colour of that as well. Just try that out. Could be a nice tip for the winter. It's just all about feeding your skin. It's so nice that all these products have such great skincare benefits in them, right? I need to get a clean brush. I'm going to take the Beauty by buffing brush and just soften the edge of that blush. Just so that it's all smooth. That's nice, isn't it? It's warm. It's sort of something of nothing, you know? Just blend that through. Now, if you put that onto a well moisturised skin, you wouldn't get much wear out of it, but because I put it onto a base, it just gives, see how, it just gives lovely dimension. Lovely. My short hair. I'll put some hair extensions in it, like clipping ones, I think. I was going to do that for this one, just to fill in this gap, but I'll do that for another film, I think. Who's got any good recommendations? Clip-ins, please, ladies. Right, blush. Okay, so another lovely brand that is back in the UK after talking about Sephora is Mina. This is a Spanish brand and it's all on colours. So I believe black is like 900 and like the lightest colour is 100. This is 244 and it's the long wear lipstick. I've chosen this because, as you know, I don't really like texture. I don't like to feel things. I like the makeup to become very much a part of me and I forget it and move on with my day. So let's do a little bit of, what base do we have? I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'll use a little bit of the Trini Matte Miracle Blur just over my lip line there. Fill in the gaps because I just find that the lipstick, especially a darker one, I'm quite liney around my mouth, so it just kind of emphasises that. And a little bit of, what have we got here? We've got the Rimmel Multitasker. I have not stopped using this. Some great products at great prices at the moment. So this is quite a heavy concealer. I will use this like on my chin. This is one I sort of carry in my makeup bag with me. Shall I show you? I've shown you many times before. Well, actually many times, she says. It's pretty new. Multitasker by Rimmel, great colours. And literally it's like, oh, it's just as good as any expensive medium to coverage concealer. Just tap that around my nose. Always the nose, isn't it? And I probably look at my face in far too much detail, but that's kind of what my eye's been trained to do, which is kind of good and bad. Good for my job, but then I kind of like over scrutinise everything. But they're not necessarily for this channel, do I? As you well know, sometimes I'm like, oh no, I've been talking to everyone, I've got a blooming smudge right across my face because talking, and I often see all the detail straight away. Get on with it. Right, here we go. Here's the lip. So it's classic red, but it's not too pink. Goes on like a dream. If anything, I'd say less is more. She says, creating a Joker mouth. Less is more, Heath Ledger. Right, okay, so let's get the cotton bud. Now, what I love is just having this line soft. I don't like a hard lip, a hard, dark lip. There we go. Just soften that and then we'll go to the Cupid's bow, which I will probably use a brush in. I might just take a little bit off this applicator. This applicator takes quite a bit of product, and because my lips around my top line aren't even, I need to graduate the colour. So let's just push this on very softly. The reason I chose this lipstick is because it just stains the lip and And as my lips sort of dehydrate throughout the day, one of my pet hates about lipstick is when you go into the bathroom, you're like, oh no. Not that it's just rubbed off, it's just kind of like synced into the lines. Oh no, I didn't want it to look like that. I'd rather it just all faded. It faded evenly. And this is what I found with this one. So I think they are available in Superdrug. Oh yes. Doesn't it just pale and pasty earlier, and now I've got a little bit of like something going on, a little bit of brightness, ready for the day. Now you can see by the way I rub my lips together, that's firming, but it's not drying in an uncomfortable way at all. It's not tightening my lips. Yeah, I love that. Now, let's see. I'm going to buff it down. Do I do more blush? I don't know. Maybe let's really gently. It's almost like in the interior of the vintage peony. Maybe just it's literally a smidgen, isn't it? A smidgen that no one else would even notice, but it's just nice to get, oh, managed to get it on my nose. That's a good look. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Just a little smidgen. Just take it off my lips. Oh, I feel so much better. Right, one thing I had noticed, I wonder whether you have too, that this eye is darker in the socket, and that's because I started by using the bud. See, the bud trick is a winner winner. Chicken dinner. Oh my God, I've got to stop saying that. I don't even know where I've got it from. Winner winner chicken dinner. What catchphrases do you guys say? Is it a catchphrase? What annoying things do you guys come out with? Do love a little rhyme. Ah, you see, so much better. And actually, I'll do this if I'm doing an artist or a bride, or do all the makeup and then just go in and just do that sort of top layer once again, especially of the darkness and sometimes the highlights, just to really kind of give that finished look, the sharpness, you know, just like a painting. There we go. Don't want to soften that too much because I want to keep that shape there. And again, this brush here, you see it's got a little tapered end. This Real Techniques one. So if you get a tapered end, that helps you blend out your socket. Anyway, lovely. Good, I'm happy with this. I'm putting a few of those in my everyday makeup bag. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. And as always, look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one. Bye.